They was nowhere to be found when you were going through the struggle, when you were going through turmoil, spiritual issues, spiritual warfare. They was nowhere to be found. But all of a sudden, they're popping out, popping up out of nowhere. Tell them, don't show up when you blow up because they wasn't there when you put in the work. That's right. When you were struggling and when you were fighting your way out that pit, when you were going through things alone, you and God alone himself on his throne watching over you while you were going through struggle after heartbreak from people that claimed that they loved you and people that you gave chances to, and then they turned around and decided to be a snake in your life. Nobody was there when you went through it. But now that you're on top of your game and that you're doing something great with yourself, now these people, these same people that you ain't heard from in years, now they want to come back around because you mysteriously blew up out of nowhere. They don't deserve to be where you are right now. They wasn't there when you were putting in that work all hours of the night, all hours of the day, trying to get yourself in order and yourself together. But these same people, whether they're your family members, people, ex-friends, ex-lovers, people that despised you at a point in time, gossiped about your name, said you would never be anything, mocked and made fun of you. Now that you on top, now these people want to weasel their way back into your life. No, no. God is telling you no. They don't need to be nowhere near your success and where you are this moment. They was nowhere to be found when you needed them. They didn't even ring your phone when they had chances to call you to see how you were doing. But all of a sudden, out of the blue, they want to come around and act like they was for you. These people was never for you. And I know that's a hard pill to swallow, but let's face it. If they was really for you, wouldn't they have been there when you were at your lowest point in life? They would have been there, hand and foot, praying for you, being there for you in a time of need. But now that you pretty much got everything now, you went through the struggle, you went through the diamond, you were the diamond in the rough that went through that rough process, and now you're shining like a whole diamond. Now these people acting like they know you because you got a little status. They know you because you got a little money. They know you because you a little popular now. You got a booming social media account. They know you now because you're doing a lot of things that you didn't do before. Positive things, successful things, things that could put people on. But don't forget that these people were envious of you, jealous of you, couldn't stand you at a point in time. That toxic mother and father of yours couldn't stand who you were as their child. Your inconsiderate siblings wouldn't even pick up the phone to call you, but when they needed something, that's when they blew up your phone and act like they knew you. God said enough of that. Enough of that. This is why they can't show up when you blow up, because they shouldn't be around you now that you blew up, because now it looks fake. If you wasn't around before I blew up, why would you come around me now? Is what you need to question these people. They don't deserve to have a seat at your table because they messed up. They thought they were so much better than you. It was amusing to them because you were going through that struggle, going through that spiritual warfare, going through unnecessary turmoil. That ex-lover wanted to make you second fiddle to somebody else, but now that you're doing better, they want to come back and play mind games just so they could go back to their other lover or lovers. You know how they roll these days in relationships. You are doing okay by yourself. God has carried you through the fire, through troubled waters. God has carried you forward in the time that you needed him to. Do not put people back into your life that couldn't even be there for you, not even for a simple prayer to get you back on the right path. All these people did was live to gossip and talk about you. Made fun of you because you went through the struggle. Didn't put out no hand to help you. But they got their hand out for you to help them now that you're on top. Do not be gullible for these people. They had their chance to prove themselves to you, and they refused to prove themselves. They had their chance to treat you a certain type of way while you were in that pit, and they chose to treat you in a negative way and not the positive way. They didn't uplift you. They did not encourage you. They didn't even come around you. You didn't even hear from these people. So why do you need to hear from them now that you're on top and you're successful? You don't want to hear nothing from them. You don't want to hear nothing because they're only coming to use, and use some more. They're not coming to help you. They're not coming out lending a helping hand. They're not coming to support you. They haven't did it to this point already, so they're not going to support you now. They're only coming to take, and use you up. That's it. So do not let these people back in that wasn't there, that you ain't heard from in 2, 3, 4, maybe even 10 years. You haven't heard anything from these people. But now they just pop up out the blue because you got a little bit of status, a little bit of money, a little bit of success. God is tired of people playing with his children like that. And you're God's child. God said don't be naive and don't be deceived by these people. They proved the place they needed to be in your life, and that was out of your life. Not in the midst of your inner circle, but on the other side. They proved that they did not deserve your time and energy by not being there for you when you needed them the most. But as soon as you get big, these same phony people want to come around and act like they were really for you. Do not fall for the bait. Do not fall for the deception. Do not fall for the scam. Do not fall for these people's games when it comes to you and your life. They was never for you. But surely God will prepare that table in the presence of those that spoke against you, that went against you, that did not support you, that tarnished your name and reputation. Now that you blew up, they just can't go. They can't go. And they don't deserve to show up when you're celebrating your success with people that really cared about you. New people that you met, not old people. If they wanted to be there, they would have been there already. But they wasn't there. So obviously they wasn't meant to go with you to that next level, that next chapter, that next time of your life. They wasn't meant to go because they wasn't there to put in the work like you were to begin with. You put in that work to get that raise. You put in that work to get that promotion. You put in that work spiritually to get that spiritual ranking in the spiritual realm. By praying, by fasting, by getting your soul and spirit right with God himself. You put in that work to get where you are today. You put in that work to get that mansion. You put in that work to get that new car. You didn't have people helping you. But these beggars, these begging people want to show up when you blow up or when you about to reach success. They don't deserve to be there. I don't care if it's an uncle or an aunt or a relative. They don't deserve to be there if they wasn't there when you were putting in that work. I wouldn't care who mad. I wouldn't care who feeling some type of way. Let them feel some type of way. Truth is, they wasn't there. And you were free the whole time. Continue to stay free, away from people that despised you and just wasn't supporting you and being there for you when you needed them the most. Just don't even worry about it. Let them be in deep regret. Let them suffer. Let them wish that you came back around. Let them wish what they want. You earned where you are. You deserve that recognition. God is proud of you, and God don't want nobody messing up what him and you have built this far by yourself already. God don't want these people messing that up. So you are free to not even include them in your life at this point, because they showed you that they wasn't there for the long haul. Only when you made something of yourself is when they want to jump on a bandwagon. And enough is just enough. And that's the message I have for a royal one. Tell them, don't show up when you blow up. They wasn't there when you put in that hard work on yourself. And until next time, bye-bye.